Hey y'all, Eddie with Dak Moto. Before I get started, if you would, please subscribe, hit that bell notification, and give me a thumbs up. That'll really help with all the algorithms and help me get myself rolling on YouTube here. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all those who've subscribed already and that are listening to my videos. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate that. Today's topic is going to be about the safety when you're out there riding on the highways, especially out in these Midwest states that the speed limit's 80 miles an hour. Trucks are really flying by them. When it's posted 85, you'll see people doing 80. I mean, it was posted 80, you'll see people doing 85, 90 miles an hour. So they're really booking through there. So the first, these are the ABCs for your safety out there when you're riding. Number one, know your limits. Obviously, as you're out there riding, understand that, after a couple, 300-mile ride, 400-mile ride, you're tired, you're fatigued. Man, just stop, go ahead and find a place to camp or find a place, a hotel or motel for the night and get you some needed rest. It's not worth it to try to push yourself. And, I know there's that iron butt, iron ass, name you want to be tagged for, but it's not really worth it in the end to end up having a wreck and mess up your vacation or your trip or whatever that, in that sense of what you're riding that length of time for. So kind of know your limits as far as, your ability to, at what speed to ride, what lane to ride in, the length of the time and all that kind of thing. I went on a trip, if you were watching my first video, I went on a trip out to South Dakota, to Sturgis. It wasn't for Sturgis Bike Week. It was for the Rev Fest, the ADV Fest. I'm sorry, by RevZilla, sponsored it. But it was for people who were on venture bikes, dual sport bikes. And I saw people on there that came out there because there's a lot of roads you can ride out. There's a lot of beautiful roads to the Black Hills to ride, and on top of that, to go look at the Badlands. The Badlands. Those were really cool. I want to post some pictures up and some of the stuff that when I rode through. I'll make a video of all that soon. Really beautiful. But one way from my house up here in North Georgia was 1,574 miles, and I did that in 2.5 days. I don't recommend that. That was some hustling. I just wanted to get there because Thursday was a day. Luckily, you gain time. Thursday was a day when they were opening the gates for the festival. And luckily, from here, which is Eastern time, and where Sturgis is, it's mountain time, so you gain 2 hours. So, but I don't recommend trying to do that kind of over almost 1,600 miles in 2.5 days. That's a lot of miles. And in total, the total miles I rode from here to there and riding around there, the trails, the roads, the back roads, and all that, I rode 3,502 miles. I took off on the 11th, and I got back this past Thursday. So a lot of hard miles. So number one, know your limits. Number two, drink plenty of water. Keep yourself hydrated. When you stop for fuel, drink 24 ounces of water, or at least 16 ounces of water if you can. When you're riding, that sun's beating on you. You may not physically be doing anything, but still sucking moisture out of you as you're going down that road. So make sure that you drink plenty of water. And I know a lot of people like to drink those energy drinks or the 5-hour energy drink. That's not for me. Then the people who drink Monster and Red Bull and all these other ones out there, and some are sugar-free, which aren't bad at all. And I tried one, and it was okay. But this is what I take. I don't know if you can see it there. It's called E-Gel, and tells you right there, it replenishes your electrolytes. It's got 37 grams of carbs, 230 milligrams of sodium, which you need if you're sweating, because, man, you're going to sweat when you're out there. I mean, the hottest I saw was 96 degrees going across the plains, and it was pretty hot. Then you got that wind, so it's like a convection oven on you with the heat from the sun and the wind blowing on you. It's like a convection oven. And then you got 85 milligrams of potassium. So these are really great. You just peel the top off, you suck it down. It's like a gel stuff. This one says it's Cherry Bomb. They almost all taste the same to me, but they're still not bad. Not bad. They're definitely okay in taste. But then you want to make sure you drink at least, this is what, 16 ounces, almost 17 ounces of water, at least one of these after you take this to help it get in through your system. But if you prefer just straight water, drink water. Or if you prefer doing, an energy drink, I would say kind of, do that and some water. It's not always the best just to rely on that. So definitely, drink water, get your electrolytes in you, and keep yourself hydrated. So that was number 2. Number 3, your mindset. You're traveling on Wednesday, the day after I left on Tuesday. On Wednesday, when I got up, I did 750 miles that day. That was a long stretch, and I didn't intend to do that. The only reason was I stopped in Sioux City, Iowa, and I was going to get a hotel there. There was like 3 or 4 hotels, and I felt okay with those. But there was no place to eat. There was just a gas station, and I see people coming out there with some bags of food going to or bags. I don't know what they had in there. Might have had beer. Could have just chips or candy bar. I don't know. What are you going to get at a convenience store, right? Some of these, like Quick Trip and Racetrack and all that, they, got some sandwiches and stuff like that. They're usually fresh, but this was just some off the name convenience store there. So I thought, well, I'll go up to the next exit. Well, there was nothing the next exit, and there was nothing the next exit after that, because these exits are sometimes 20 miles apart. So 65 miles later in Sioux Falls, I found a Best Western. I got into there, found a nice place to eat, got a nice meal for the evening, bedded down, get myself ready for that last half of the trip. I think it was like 390 something miles I had to go that day to get to the Buffalo Chip campground there in Sturgis. So anyways, keep your mind, number 3, keep your mind focused. Listen to some, some music, but after a while you get tired of music no matter what you listen to. I mean, I got a whole genre of music I'll listen to. I'll listen to some rock, I'll listen to some country, I'll listen to just all kinds. And after a while you just got tired of listening to it. You could do podcasts, and that sometimes will keep your mind going, because then you're kind of getting attentive to what they're talking about, and you start formulating your own opinion about whatever the subject may be. Or you can do what I did. I started playing a game, saying it was called Ooh, What's That Smell? Yeah, you got it, roadkill. So I'd be riding, and I'd pick up the scent before I got to the carcass. I tried to figure out what it was. Probably out of a dozen, maybe 15 tries, I got one right, and it was a raccoon. I saw everything out there: deer, coyote, poor dead cat, turtle. I even saw a beaver. That was in Missouri. I'm like, where did this beaver come from? Must have fell out of someone's back truck. I don't know. But yeah, you definitely see a lot of roadkill, more so on a bike than you would in a car. That's a definite. So keep your mind active, man. If you keep your mind active and going, sometimes I was just doing arithmetic in my head, just doing a lot of math in my head to keep my head going and help you kind of keep focused, because then you can fall asleep on a bike just as you can in a car. It can be done, and it's happened before, so be careful out there. Number 4, stop often. If you've been going for 150 miles, 200 miles, 230 miles, man, that's a long stretch. 4 hours, 4.5 hours on a bike, 3 hours on a bike is a long stretch. Even if you don't need fuel, just stop at a rest stop or get off an exit where you're safe. You don't have to worry about people not paying attention, and I want to get to that next. Or there's a couple more, I'm going to get to that one. But, get out and stretch, get the blood flow going, do some knee bends, whatever. Do some burpees, do some push-ups, some jumping jacks, whatever to get your blood flowing, But stop often, hydrate, get yourself hydrated when you do stop, and it'll keep you refreshed. It'll keep you attentive. Your brain has to have, constantly being, with hydration too, to be keen on what's going around you. Because there's people out there that aren't paying attention to you on a bike. To them, you're just this little small object in the road. So, you got to stay attentive and keep your mind alert. So stop often, get your blood flow going, whatever. And then get back on the bike and hit it again if you feel good about it. If not, maybe find a place to stay. Number 5, make yourself as comfortable as possible. I got one of these seats. I think it's called Wild Ass. It's a seat cushion on top. I'm going to review that here probably in a couple days. I think I need to send it back and get the larger one. But I'm going to review that one here in a couple days if you're interested in buying one of those. But make yourself comfortable. I mean, I got pegs in the front so I can stretch my feet out. I can kind of put them 2 different positions on those. Then I got the regular pegs where you're sitting on the bike and they're large, and they're large enough to where I can kind of put my foot far forward, far rear, change position. And then a lot of times what I was doing too is pulling my back pegs down and let my feet hang off of that, just to kind of stretch that out too. And then if you got cruise control, you know, it's not all, I don't always say you should always have both hands on the handlebar, but you know, maybe give your wrist a little bit of rest. Either one, if you got cruise control, that way you can give your hands and your arms some time to rest. Some people on Harleys got the bigger bars. I could imagine doing a long, you know, 700-800 mile day ride like this. So, but anyways, you know, make yourself comfortable. That was number 5. My last one, number 6. This is what I mentioned earlier about, you know, make yourself so people can see you. Make yourself visible. I was taking a shortcut, or maybe my GPS routed me a different, faster way. So I was going down this highway, and it comes into this small town. I come to a 3-way stop, and the car in front of me goes across. The car to the right of me, it was a white little car. She goes by, and then there was a white pickup truck behind her. I'm sorry. So then it was my turn. So I started going, and then all of a sudden he pulls out. I mean, literally 16 inches from hitting me. I had to slam on my bike, almost drop it. Was able to keep my position and hold it. As I saw that, because I had to try to figure out how to do an evasive action, but as I saw he stopped, I looked at him, I could see he was putting his phone down. Young kid, wasn't paying attention. He's like, sorry. And man, I had the maddest look on my face, I'm sure. I probably had to look like I wanted to, you know, smack him around, beat him like a, you know what, for being stupid, not paying attention. Could have hurt, you know, not just me, it can hurt the next person if he's not paying attention. That would have sucked, because I was like still 800 plus miles from getting home. That would have stunk, having to go to the hospital, my bike being messed up. It would have stunk. So make yourself visible. Honk your horn when you're going through some of these small towns in an intersection. They're not paying attention. They're not going to. So honk your horn. I have a set of lights on my handlebar, and I use those if I'm going down a back road somewhere and there's no lighting, because the light on your headlight is only going to stay focused the one way. It's always going to be looking straight whichever the way the bodywork is. On my crash bars, I have, you know, smaller lights, you know, highway lights, but the same thing. They're only focusing down that way. So I have some lights on my handlebar that as I turn the handlebar, they'll shine that way, or if I turn right, they'll shine to the right. So make yourself visible when you're going through these intersections. Honk your horn, wave your hand as you're going through there, so people can see that you're there, that you're an object, that, you know, they don't need to be pulling out in front of you and possibly ruining your trip back or your trip to your destination. So that's my 6, you know, pieces of advice of riding out there and trying to be safe on the highway. You know your limits, drink plenty of water, get your electrolytes in you, keep your mindset going. You can play my roadkill game, you know, ooh, what's that smell, if you want. Stop often, stretch, get your blood flow going, make yourself comfortable, you know, try different foot positions. Get another cushion. The seat on my V-Strom is pretty comfortable. In fact, I didn't buy this seat cushion until I was up there at the event, and then I bought it back. Like I said, I'm going to review that here in a couple days. And then just, you know, make yourself visible, so you don't end up in a hospital or end up, you know, something worse. And on that account, you know, make sure you always got your gear. You know, gloves, your jacket, your boots, your helmet. There's that old saying: you dress for the slide, not the ride. So make sure you're always got your gear so you don't end up messed up. Anyways, this is Eddie with DAC Moto. I appreciate you watching this video. Give me a thumbs up, please. Subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Tomorrow. Mondays will be my Tech Mondays. Tomorrow I'm going to do a technical analysis of how to adjust your chain. And you're going to think, well, that's simple. That's elementary. You'd be surprised. When I was at the festival, I was talking with a lot of guys, and they don't do their chain correctly. Well, they do, but not as efficiently, we'll say. So I'm going to show you a way to do your chain. This is what I learned this when I used to road race. When I road raced for about 4 years in CCS and Wera. This is the best way to adjust your chain and make sure that slack that you put in that chain stays at that. If you put an 1.5 inches or inch and 3/4, 1 3/8, whatever you set it at, it stays right there. And I'll show you that tomorrow on tomorrow's video on Monday. But again, appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who has subscribed. Tell your friends, you know, have them come to my channel. I'm going to start doing way more videos here about the surrounding areas here in North Georgia, Carolina, Tennessee, I'll do one about Deals Gap. I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there, but I'm going to show a little different aspects of it. A lot of the fire trails, I'm going to do videos about all that stuff too. But anyway, today was just about your rider safety. Stay hydrated, make sure you got good gear, and be safe out there. This is Eddie with Dak Moto, 2 Wheels. Thanks.